Namaste, welcome to the Group 1 Services orientation classes telecasted by TSAT. Everyone knows we have 6 papers, each paper carries 150 marks, means totally 900 marks. So, if you score more than 600 marks, you will be qualified for the Group 1 Services. So, every paper is a very important thing here. And you have to change your mindset from objective pattern to descriptive pattern. This is a very important phenomena. So, that is the reason in every episode we are giving the stress on this instruction. So, objective pattern means just you have to find the answer, whereas in descriptive pattern you have to write the solution. So, finding answer is totally different from the writing solution. The solution should be a logical way, a reasoning way, and should be precise. So, you have to write the very important information only. So, I am writing very elongated way, these are the other matter. Of course, for paper 5 when you consider this, so paper 5 there are 3 sections. One section is science and technology, second section also science and technology, and third section comes under the data interpretation and problem solving. So, today we are going to discuss about the third section, that is data interpretation and problem solving. In this, the sub content is time and distance. So, time and distance, generally you learn the time and distance as commercial mathematics. So, when you are 8th or 9th, means when you are in school education, this information, but this is a very important thing. Especially you are going to learn as a quantitative aptitude also. There is a lot of reasoning, lot of analytical thing is possible, but the concept is very simple. Clear? Okay, now we will see what is the relation between speed, time and distance. First we are going to discuss about. Here I am going to say here that there are some words called as distance and displacement. So, distance and displacement, when it comes under these two, distance is the shortest distance. If you say, for example, I will give a clear information to you, means here. So, when you consider it is in a curved path, so means the total length of this curved path is called the distance. But if you say the displacement, the minimum distance between the two endpoints of your path will be displacement. Displacement is a vector and a distance is a scalar. So, this is a very important. Of course, here in this particular phenomena we are going to discuss about a distance. Clear? Means the total length of the path which was travelled by you or the object is called distance. And the next one is time. As you know that how much time you are taking to cover the particular distance is called the time here. Here speed we are saying, a speed is the ratio of distance to time, distance by time you can say it. Thus, generally the speed is a scalar. So, already I said there are two quantities, physical quantities, one is called vector, another one is scalar. So, here if you want to say the same physical quantity in terms of vector, that is we call it as velocity. See, velocity, generally velocity equal to displacement by time. Of course, numerically both are same, do not get any confusion, numerically they are same, velocity and speed both are same, but if you want to say in terms of physical science aspects, so speed is a scalar and velocity is a vector. So, the units of speed is distance you are measuring in meters and time in seconds. So, meter per second is the units for speed. If you measure the distance in kilometers and the time in hours, then we call it as kilometer per hour, kmph. So, generally we are using the units for the speed as meter per second or kilometer per hour. Okay. Speed is directly proportional to distance and inversely proportional to time. So, as you know it, the here is given simply we will say the speed, if you say the speed is equal to v and the distance is d and time is t, means from this you can narrate one relation that is called v is proportional to d and v is proportional to 1 by d, correct. So, you learned in the last sessions, that is ratios and proportions, you learned the direct proportion and inverse proportion. So, here what is direct proportion, what is inverse proportion already we discussed, but like a small recapitulation, I mean recall those things here. If one quantity increases, other quantities also increases, that is called direct proportion. If one quantity increases, other quantity decreases, that is called inverse proportion. See here, as the velocity increases, as the speed increases, means the distance covered, distance travelled by the body increases. So, means one increasing, other quantities also increasing. So, that is the reason it is a direct proportion. So, v is proportional to d, speed is directly proportional to distance, whereas time. So, what is the time here when you are taking inversely proportional to time. So, as time increases, so the remaining distance of as the time increase, when you increase the time, obviously the speed of that one is decreases, correct. So, when you increase the speed, the time decreases, when you decrease the speed, time increases. So, there is a inversely proportional between velocity and time. So, these two are very, very important. So, we can say one relation, I will give the relation also later, and the distance is equal to simply speed of time, v is equal to d by t. So, d is equal to vt, velocity into time, correct. Okay. And time you can say t is equal to d by v, distance by speed. So, like we have three formulas, like you can say, now I am drawing a triangle here, like this is a triangle, say like this one is d and this one is v and this is t. So, distance is velocity into time, or you can, if you want to know, time is distance by velocity, or velocity is distance by time. Are you understand? So, like you can make a triangle. So, by using this triangle you can derive these three formulas, v is equal to d by t, d is equal to v into t and t is equal to d by v. So, for this, especially for mathematics background aspirants, this is very simple, whereas non-mathematics aspirants, we have to practice these formulas, then it is easy to answer the given question based on relation between speed, time and distance. Okay. Now, time is distance, speed, as the speed increases, time taken will decrease and vice versa. So, that is a, so now we are going to move into the units of this one. Okay. Now, see what are the units of speed, time and distance. Already I said v is equal to d by t. What are the units for distance? When you consider as meters, time as seconds, meter per second is the units for speed, or if you measure the distance in kilometers and time in hours, so we call it as kmph, kilometer per hour. So, means here each speed and distance time can be expressed in different units. Generally, the time can be measured in seconds, minutes and hours. The distance will be measured in meters, kilometers, miles, feet, yards, like different things here. The most frequently used the units are meters and kilometers, okay. And the speed is measured in meter per second, kilometer per hour. So, this you have to remember, because units are very important. Units less physical quantity is lifeless body. That is the reason without units there is no meaning. So, you have to give an importance for the units. Already I said you are writing a descriptive pattern examination. So, everything plays a key role. So, you have to take care about the units of the particular physical quantity also. Clear? Okay. So, for time, seconds, say minutes, hours, any one of these, distance, meter, kilometer, mile and feet. Of course, the speed units are meter per second and kilometer per hour. Okay. Now, so we have to, there is a relation, we have to convert one kind of unit to another kind of it. Okay. Now, we are taking meter per second, meter per second. Okay. Now, kilometer per hour, we are going to take it as a relation between kilometer per hour. You can, how many meters here? 1 kilometer is equal to how much? 1000 meters. Hour, how many seconds per hour? You know that 1 hour equal to 60 minutes. So, each minute has 60 seconds, means 3600 seconds, correct. So, when you divide with 100, this is 10 by 36 meter per second, or 2 5s are 2 18s are 5 by 18 meter per second. So, 1 kilometer per hour is equal to 5 by 18 meter per second, or 1 meter per second is equal to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. This relation is most important. Clear? Or you can say 1 meter per second is 18 by 5, you can say 3.6 kmph, like. Clear? To convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, you have to multiply with 5 by 18. This is a very important thing. Sometimes you have to convert the units from one kind of to another one. So, if you want to change or convert the speed units from meter per second to kilometer per hour, or kilometer per hour to meter per second, then what you have to do means here, if you want to convert the units of speed from kilometer per hour to meter per second, you have to multiply that value 5 by 18. For example, there are 36 kmph is given, 36 kilometer per hour is given. You have to convert in terms of meter per second. What you have to do? 36 into 5 by 18, 18 ones are 18 twos are, means 10 meter per second. So, 36 kilometer per hour is equal to 10 meter per second. Like, you have to convert the value which is in terms of kilometer per hour can be converted in terms of meter per second. Okay. For example, if you want to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour, then what you have to do means, for example, there is 10 meters per second is given. So, 10 meters per second you have to convert in terms of kilometer per hour. What you have to do? You have to multiply with 18 by 5. 5 ones are 5 twos are 2 18s are 36, means 36 kmph. Are you understand? So, you have to convert one kind of unit to another kind of unit, then you have to take care about that one. For meter per second will be converted into kilometer per hour, that will be converted by multiplying with 18 by 5. If you want to change kilometer per hour into meter per second, so you have to say it as multiply with 5 by 18. Is it clear? Okay. These two values are very important. Now, come to the next one. So, you have to know the relation between different measures, different units of length. You can measure the length of a distance in yards, in feet also. 1 yard equal to 3 feet, 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters. You can sometimes you can say the length, if the length is more, you can say it as miles also, 0.6214 miles also. Clear? 1 kilometer, 0.6214 miles equal to 1 kilometer. Or you can say 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometer. Clear? So, this is a very important. So, the relation, sometimes these relations also plays a vital role. 1 yard equal to 3 feet, as you know it, 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meters, or if you want to say in terms of miles 0.6214, and 1 mile, or in terms of kilometer it is 1.609 kilometers. Okay. So, now we can say in terms of hours. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, as you know it, and each minute is 60 seconds. So, 60 of 60, 3600 seconds. And if you want to say the relation between the mile and yards, 1 mile equal to 1760 yards and 1 yard equal to 3 feet. So, we can say 1 mile is equal to 5 to 80, means 5280 feet. Okay. 1 meter per hour, mph, meter per hour, is equal to 22/45 yards per second. 1 meter per hour is equal to 22/15 feet by second. So, all these relations are very important. You have to remember, you have to use in, because all these are not in regular practice. So, regular practice is required, then it comes, because meter per second, kilometer per hour is a regular practice, but yard per second, feet per second, the relation between a mile and yard, yard and feet, mile and feet, all these are maybe, I think so, is a new for you. So, definitely you have to practice all these things. For a certain distance, if the ratio of the speeds is A is to B, the ratio of the speeds is for example A is to B, then the ratio of time taken to cover the distance would be B is to A. It is inverse proportion. Already I said the relation between the speed and time, so is inversely proportional to, V is proportional to 1 by T, already I said. So, if the ratio between the speeds of a vehicle is A is to B, then the ratio of the time taken to cover the given distance would be B is to A. So, all these are very important. Just we collected this information, I have to give this information to you, better to practice it and note the information same. Definitely it gives very simple, because see, for examination preparation, so everyone will prepare the examination very well, but proper planning and execution, these two plays a vital role, important role. Everyone will prepare for the examination. How best you prepare for the examination, how best you are writing the examination in a proper way, required manner, those things will place important role in the success of your examination. So, now I am going to give some formulas, some quick tricks for speed and time and distance. Those definitely it helps to you to calculate the answer or to find the solution of the given problem in a very easier manner. Clear? Okay, 1 kilometer per hour equal to 5/18 meter per second. Already I just now I discussed this thing, and 1 meter per second is 18 by kilometer per hour, 18 by 5 kilometer. These two already discussed here, and the speed equal to distance by time. Okay. Now, the average speed. So, for example, there is a distance is d1 distance travelled in t1 time, and d2 distance you travelled in t2 seconds time. Then average speed, if you want to get average speed, means you have to say average speed as, so simply say as, equal to total distance d1 plus d2 by total time t1 plus t2. Okay. If an object is travelled d1 distance in t1 seconds and d2 distance in t2 seconds, then average speed of that object or the vehicle is d1 plus d2 by t1 plus t2. How you got it? Simply total distance by total time. Okay. For example, the distance is same, d1 is equal to d2, the distance is same, then what is the value here? Simply it is 2 d1 or 2d by t1 plus t2, correct, 2d by t1 plus t2, 2d1. So, otherwise we can say in another form, okay, the d1 equal d2 average speed d1, this is the one. Otherwise you can say the first you travel the distance with s1 speed, then the same distance with the s2 speed, okay, then the average speed. So, time is not given here, the time is not given at the time, then it is simply 2 s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. This is one more very important formula. So, are you understand here? So, if the same distance is travelled with s1 speed and then s2 speed, then average speed of the vehicle is 2 s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. Okay. Now, when the time t1 is equal to t2, the times are equal, then the average speed is simply s1 plus s2 by 2. This is very, very important. Okay. The relative speed when moving in opposite directions, the opposite direction, that is s1 plus s2, relative speed. For example, one train is moving at 30 kilometers per hour in north direction, another train is moving 60 kilometers per hour in south direction, which are completely in opposite directions, then average speed will be 30 plus 60, 90 kmph, kilometer per hour, means simply you can say s1 plus s2. For example, so if the relative speed moving in the same direction, so same direction means one train is moving with 30 kilometers per hour, another one is moving in the same direction 45 kilometers per hour, then the relative speed will be 45 minus 30, that is 15 kilometers per hour. Is it clear? So, this is a very, very important. The relative speed when moving in opposite directions, if the speeds of both the objects or the vehicles are s1 and s2, both are in opposite direction, then the relative speed will be s1 plus s2. Okay. If they are moving in opposite directions, you have to consider the relative speed as s1 minus s2. What is the reason here? I will give a same example to you. So, when the body moving in towards north direction, say plus s1, when the another object is moving in opposite direction, means minus s2. So, s1 plus minus s2, obviously it becomes s1 minus s2. Are you understand? Okay. A person goes certain distance a to b at a speed of s1 kilometer per hour and returns back, means from b to a s2 kilometers per hour. If he takes t hours in all, what the distance between a and b is? Okay. So, here for example, this is a point a and this is the point b. So, first he travels from a to b in the speed s1, then he returns back from b to a with speed s2. The total time taken for the travelling from a to b and b to a is t. Then, so you can say the distance between a and b, the distance will be, say you can say distance is equal to t of s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. This is one more most important formula. D is equal to t of s1 s2 by s1 plus s2. Okay. Now, I will give one more. When two trains of lengths L1 and L2 respectively travelling at the speeds S1 and S2 crosses each other in time t, then the equation gives, that is S1 plus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. Okay. The sum of the speeds of both the trains is equal to the sum of the lengths of the trains when you divide with the time, both are same. So, these are the different formulas which is highly useful for you to do the problems based on it. So, here a lot of reasoning. So, that is the reason. So, all these things comes under the problem solving. Is it clear? All this comes under the problem solving. So, now you can do all the problems. So, this is a very important. Now, we will see practice one question based on these things. Before going to this, I will give some more information to you because I collected this information from all competitive examinations based on the time and speed distance. So, I collected not only from group 1 services examination, from the various CAT examination, from all the national and state level examination, I collected the total information. Finally, I prepared the well narrated concepts to you to write the examination in an excellent mode. Now, we will see some more. When a train of length L1 travelling at a speed of S1 overtakes another train of the length L2 travelling at the speed S2 in time t, then the equation is given to, are you understand the difference between the previous one and this one here. What is the previous one? See, the previous one is the two trains of lengths L1 and L2 travelling with the speeds S1 and S2 respectively crossing each other in time t. Then S1 plus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. Now, coming to the next one is the train of length L1 travelling at speed S1 overtakes another train of length L2 travelling at speed, means both are travelling in the same direction. Previously they crossed, correct. So, this previously they crossed means they are travelling in opposite direction. Now, both are in same direction, but so in a time t, the train T2 is overcrossed with the speed of S2. So, now we can say S1 minus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. So, this is very important. So, just remember it. So, when the two trains are crossed each other, then S1 plus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. Whereas, overtakes the first train, second train overcross means then S1 minus S2 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. This is a very important. Okay. Now, coming to the next one. When a train of length L1 travelling at a speed S1 crosses the platform or bridge or tunnel, whatever it may be, is the context of length L2 in time t, then the equation is given speed S1 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. So, here there are not two trains here, only one train. That train has the length L1 and speed S1. It crosses maybe platform, maybe bridge, maybe tunnel. So, the tunnel or the platform or the bridge length is L2 for example. Okay. Then the equation is simply you can say S1 is equal to L1 plus L2 by t. Okay. Now, coming to the next one is when a train length L travelling at a speed crosses a pole or pillar in time t, then the equation as given speed is equal to simply the length of the train will be the distance covered by the train. So, simply you can say the speed is equal to L by t, clear. If two persons A and B start from same time, from 2 points P and Q towards each other, crossing them in the time t1 and t2 and Q and P respectively, then A speed by B speed is equal to under root T2 by under root T1. Clear? These are the different formulas to do the problems based on speed, distance and time. These are the different formulas which are highly useful for doing the problems or performing the solutions based on speed, time and distance. Okay. So, when you practice it, it's a very simple. Now, we will practice all the problems which are previously asked in the examination and expected questions also we will discuss in the next session. So, until thank you.